guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and let's get right into this video. So today we have a very cute nail set to do. As you guys may know, Thanksgiving is finally over, which means it's 100% Christmas time. So here is the inspiration for today's nail set. I really like this design. I thought it would be kind of simple, but also the red reminds me of Christmas, and that's why I wanted to do it. So for this nail set, we're going to need a lot of gel polishes. I have here a good variety. So we're definitely going to need some white gel polish, and then I have here a bunch of shades of red, but I don't have like the exact red colors from like darkest to lightest, so I might have to do some mixing. And then we're just also going to need some Nude Polygel. Here is the one I'm using from Makartt today, and that is pretty much all we're going to need. So let's just get right into this nail set. Okay, so here are how my natural nails are looking. I have not done my nails in so long. They kind of look a little crusty. They're kind of long and grown out a little bit, but I am ready to fix them. So I'm just going to start off by pushing back the cuticles. Next, I'm going to use this circular cuticle drill bit, and I'm just going to work this around the cuticle areas. Next, I'm going to take my cuticle scissors and I'm just going to trim off this excess dead skin. Alright, next step, we are going to trim down my natural nails. And now I'm just going to smooth out the free edge of the nails. Next, I'm going to take my fine grit sanding band and I'm just going to remove the shine from all the nails. Okay, now I'm just going to put on a peel off base coat, so I'll be right back after I do that. Okay, so I put on a peel off base coat, and now my next step is going to be sizing out the nail tips. Now I'm just going to glue them on with some base coat. Okay, so I have the nail tips glued on. Now I'm just going to take my tip cutters and I'm going to trim these down. I still want these to be pretty long. Okay, so I think this is a good length. Now our next step is just going to be reshaping these nails. I'm just going to file the sides of them and make sure that the tip of the nail is straight. Okay, so I have the nails reshaped a little bit, and now I'm just going to take my fine grit sanding band and I'm going to remove the shine from all of the nail tips. Okay, so I have the nail tips filed. Now we are just going to add on a layer of base coat. Okay, so base coat is on. Now we are going to get started on the polygel application. I'm going to be using this Nude Polygel from Makartt, and it's pretty simple. We're just making all the nails this one color. So I'm first going to start off at the tip of the nail and just put a bead of polygel. Now I'm going to get smoothing that out. I'm just going to pat this out until it covers the entire tip. Okay, so we're starting on the thumbnail and we're working at the tip of the nail. Like I said, I'm just going to bring it down to the sides of the nail tip and make sure that it's aligned with the nail tip and it's not too lumpy. So for this nail set, I did it in 2 beads. Because for longer nails, I feel like doing it with the 2 bead method is a bit easier because the nail is so long, you have to make it kind of a certain thickness or else it won't hold up. So just focusing on specific parts of the nail at a time makes it much easier. So I just put a good enough layer on the tip. I don't make it super thick, just like good enough to cover it. And then I put another bead at the cuticle area. So I start by pushing the polygel towards the skin and making sure to get it as close to the skin as I can, but also leaving like a little gap so that the polygel doesn't touch my skin. And I also make sure to just thin out the sides of that polygel so that way it sticks to my nail and it's not just kind of like on top of my nail. You know, I want to pat it onto my nail and make it flush. And then once I have the cuticle area done, I move on and I just blend the rest of that polygel down the nail, kind of like an ombre. But once I was done with that, I noticed that the tip of the nail was still a little bit thin, so I added another bead of polygel on there. I don't normally do this, but when I accidentally put too little polygel, then I have to go back in with another bead, which is why I've said this before, but I'd rather put on too much polygel and like take off the excess than having to keep putting more and more back on, because it just gets tedious having to like cure every layer and it not being thick enough, so you have to keep adding on more. Yeah, it can just get kind of annoying. So I'd rather put too much, smooth it out, make it look really nice, and then just take off the excess really easily. So yeah, I'm just blending that third bead in to my nail. I make sure that the new polygel layer on top is blended in to what I already had. And then here is kind of where I just like perfect everything and I make sure that it's nice and neat and the cuticle area is cleaned up. I always go back and make sure to re-clean the cuticle area to make sure that there's no flooding of the polygel, because that would be really annoying if your cuticle area is flooded, because that part would be so hard to clean up again. Like, I know you can use the nail drill and all the cuticle bits to try and clean it up and get that polygel out of there. It really just kind of messes it up and makes it look not as neat. So I always just make sure that the cuticle area is clean before I cure the polygel. And now moving on to the pointer finger, I'm just doing that same thing, starting with a bead of polygel at the tip of the nail. And for this bead, I kind of put on like a little too much, which is okay. I just kind of push the polygel more towards the cuticle area rather than like just putting it at the tip of the nail and kind of blending it out like an ombre would be. I just move it more down onto my natural nail, but I still take off that excess that builds up at the tip, and then I just take that off, and then you can just put that back in the tube and save it. And once again, going in with that second bead of polygel at the cuticle area. One tip that I have is to always put the polygel on directly from the tube onto your nail, because I noticed that when you put the polygel on from the tube right on your nail, it kind of shapes the polygel into like a rounded shape so that it's just so easy to just push towards your cuticle area. I hope that makes sense. I know that's like a little bit weird, but that's why I never like pick up the polygel with like the spatula with like the end of the polygel brush or anything and like smear it on my nail. I normally just like to make a round bead of the polygel near the cuticle area, because it just kind of like fits into the cuticle because it's already rounded and it's like the perfect amount as well. Yeah, I really hope that makes sense, because that is something that's really helped me to get the cuticle areas so like clean and easy to do. But also the polygel brush that I use doesn't have a spatula at the end of it, so I have to get like another polygel brush that I have that actually has the spatula on the other end and use that when I need it. But anyway, we're done with the pointer finger now, and moving on to the middle finger. So at this point I was realizing that I was kind of running out of the polygel. I mean, when I started the nail set, my tube of polygel that I was using was kind of already a little bit empty, but it was the only one I could find. And I know I have like a lot of this specific nude color because I love this color, which I also highly recommend this nude color as well. If you're looking for more of like a soft pink, kind of like a softer nude, I definitely recommend this one from Makartt. It is so good. It is like a little sheer, but if you put like a thick enough layer of it, it is like a good opacity, and it's such a cute color. So I also recommend this one. It'll be linked in my description. So yeah, I know I have like a few of these bottles of this polygel, but I can't find any of them because if you guys don't know, I did move into my apartment and I've been here for like almost 2 months and I'm still not fully unpacked. So a lot of my polygels are still in plastic bags and my gel polish are in like boxes, and all my nail stuff are like still packed away kind of because I have not really unpacked my nail stuff. So when I wanted to find this polygel, I had to go digging for it and it was the only one I could find. So yeah, it was kind of empty, but I am kind of getting annoyed that none of my stuff is like easy to access. I want to do a nail room organization kind of video because a lot of my nail stuff got really messed up. Like all my stuff that was in my drawers kind of got messed up when I was moving it, and like everything was everywhere, so everything's completely unorganized and I really need to fix all of it because I can't find anything. So I'd like to do a video on that because I feel like it'd be very satisfying because of how messy my stuff is. So to clean it up would be really nice. And then I want to, like, my nail room is still pretty empty. Like all I have in here is my desk. I have a couple cat trees in here and my drawers with my nail stuff in it. That's all I really have in here. It's still pretty empty. So I want to put some of my old stuff up that I had. Like I really need to, because like a lot of my stuff is so hard to find. So let me know if you want an organization video. If I do a video of like organizing my nail room, it's not going to be like a full reveal of it because it's not done. My nail room is not done. I don't have anything in here. So it'd probably only be like an organization video of cleaning all my stuff. I still feel like that'd be really satisfying to watch. So let me know if you want that. So back to the nails. We're just kind of speeding through this now because you get the idea. We're just putting on this one color of polygel. I'm just doing the same thing on all the nails, doing it in 2 beads and just smoothing everything out the best I can. I do spend a lot of time on the polygel application. Like for some reason, if I see something that's like not almost perfect, then I have to fix it. I just can't leave the polygel lumpy, even though I know I'm gonna shape it. Like it has to look nice. I don't know, which kind of makes it take much longer. Like I feel like I could just leave the nails unshaped. I could just put the nail art right over them, just how they are after the polygel's on. So after all the polygel's on, we're going to get shaping these nails. I have my Makartt dust collector and a hand file, and yeah, we're just going to get reshaping. Okay, and here's how the nails are looking after they have been shaped. Very crisp. They look so good. Like, sometimes I just want to leave my nails just how they are shaped. I don't even want to put top coat on them. So we're going to get into this nail art. I don't really know what to call this nail art design. It's kind of just like wavy lines with like shades of red. So I got all my colors laid out and I'm just using this thin brush that I have. I kind of start the nail art where like my natural nail ends, and then I just make that wavy line go all the way diagonal across the nail. And I chose this nail art because it reminded me of Christmas. I know this video, even though I said like at the beginning like it's 100% Christmas time, this nail set is like not really 100% Christmas. Like, it kind of reminds me of Christmas, but it's not truly like Christmas themed. The red reminded me of Christmas, and that's why I wanted to do it. I was thinking if I could add any other nail art that could make it more Christmassy, but I really didn't think of anything. The only thing I thought of was adding snowflakes, but I just did that in my last video. Even though I feel like snowflakes would be really cute on this design, I just didn't do it because I just did snowflakes. The design reminded me like of peppermint kind of, because like the nail art is a little bit swirled. It just reminded me of Christmas because of the dark reds, but I still feel like this design can be for any time of year. You can always switch up the colors as well and do different shades of any other color. And also, this nail art wasn't really that hard. It just kind of took a long time because you had to do like each layer and then cure each color that you put on there, because you obviously don't want the different gel polishes to touch when they're uncured. So like you have to go and cure each color at a time, and it did take a while, but it wasn't hard. So beginners, I feel like beginners can definitely do this set. It's, you know, just a simple base, one color nude, and then you just do these wavy lines with the different shades of the color. And because it started taking so long on the ring finger and the pinky nail, I did them both like at the same time because having to cure each layer one by one was taking too long. And also, I didn't have like the perfect different shades of red, so I had to do a lot of mixing and my colors weren't exactly perfect. Like, I know the darkest red, I wanted it to have like a bit more of like a dark purple undertone, but I just didn't have like a dark purple type of red. I did have like a more brown type of red, so I had to mix in some of that to make, you know, the darker shades of red. But I still feel like the colors were pretty good, and honestly, looking back at the inspiration picture, I feel like it matched it pretty well. Here is how the nail art looks after we got it all on. And now we're just going to finish off this nail set with some matte top coat today. Yeah, like I said, I wanted to add some other details, but I really couldn't think of anything for this set. I would say maybe like red gems could have been nice, but I just decided against it. I just left it how it was. And yeah, the inspiration picture, these nails were matte, so I did do matte as well. And I feel like the matte was a good choice. There was something about the matte with the nail art. It would just look so good. Now we're just going to finish this nail set off with some cuticle oil. And here are how the nails turned out. Let me know what you guys think of this nail set in the comments. I'm so happy with these nails. Like, they are so cute. I'm really like happy with the nail art. I feel like the shades of red look so good, and it's like a nice gradient, and the design was not too complicated. Like I said before, I feel like beginners could definitely do this nail set. Just know it might take a long time having to cure each color, but other than that, it was a pretty fun nail set to do, and I haven't done my own nails in so long. This was like a good first nail set to do on myself again after a while. Yeah, I'm just really happy with them. Let me know in the comments if they remind you of Christmas. I feel like they do. It reminds me of either like peppermint a little bit or just like Santa Claus or something because of the red. And also, if you have any suggestions for my next video and like my next nail design, if you want to see a certain color of Christmas nails or just like a certain nail set, you can go ahead and leave that in the comments, because I kind of don't really know what to do for my next video, but we'll figure it out. And also let me know, if you were to do this nail set, would you also do the shades of red, or would you maybe do like a different color? Let me know which color you would do. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye!